In this module, we will learn about human nervous system, brain, and its parts and how neurons work. Definition. The nervous system is a complex network of nerves and cells that carry messages to and from the brain and spinal cord of various parts of the body. The nervous system includes both the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is made up of the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system is made up of the somatic and the autonomic nervous systems. The central nervous system. The central nervous system is divided into two major parts, the brain and the spinal cord. The brain. The brain lies within the skull and is shaped like a mushroom. The brain consists of four principal parts: the brain stem, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the diencephalon. The brain weighs approximately 1.3 to 1.4 kg. It has nervous cells called the neurons and supporting cells called the glia. The brain stem. The brain stem is also known as the medulla oblongata. It is located between the bones and the spinal cord and is only about 1 inch long. The cerebrum. The cerebrum forms the bulk of the brain and is supported on the brain stem. The cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres. Each hemisphere controls the activities of the side of the body opposite that hemisphere. The hemispheres are further divided into four lobes: frontal lobe, temporal lobes, parietal lobe, occipital lobe. The cerebellum. This is located behind and below the cerebrum. The diencephalon. The diencephalon is also known as the forebrain stem. It includes the thalamus and hypothalamus. The thalamus is where sensory and other impulses go and coalesce. The hypothalamus is a smaller part of the diencephalon. The spinal cord. The spinal cord is a long tube-like structure which extends from the brain. The spinal cord is composed of a series of 31 segments. A pair of spinal nerves comes out of each segment. The region of the spinal cord from which a pair of spinal nerves originates is called the spinal segment. Both motor and sensory nerves are located in the spinal cord. The spinal cord is about 43 cm long in adult women and 45 cm long in adult men and weight about 35 to 40 grams. It lies within the vertebral column, the collection of bones, backbone. Neurons. The neuron is the basic unit in the nervous system. It is a specialized conductor cell that receives and transmits electrochemical nervous impulses. A typical neuron has a cell body and long arms that conduct impulses from one body part to another body part. There are three different parts of the neuron: the cell body, dendrites, axon. Cell body of a neuron. The cell body is like any other cell with a nucleus or control center. Dendrites. The cell body has several highly branched, thick extensions that appear like cables and are called dendrites. The exception is a sensory neuron that has a single, long dendrite instead of many dendrites. Motor neurons has multiple thick dendrites. The dendrite's function is to carry a nervous impulse into the cell body. Axon. An axon is a long, thin process that carries impulses away from the cell body to another neurons or tissue. There is usually only one axon per neuron.